Hello everyone, this is Carlos with another video. As you can see, I am not showing my face today, and that is because we are going to spend the whole time here on the computer. We're going to, actually, I am going to be showing you my workflow through PixInsight and how I added the Rosette Nebula, which you see here on the screen on my screensaver. But the main reason why I am doing this video instead of um, the other video that I was going to do, I mentioned this on my first video. I said that I was going to follow up uh, with another video where I was going to take the equipment outside and I was going to take pictures and go through that whole process. Um, I've changed my plans, and the reason for that it's because I also released a document when I finished editing this picture. Let me grab it here. Yes, so I released this document also on Facebook, and it had a lot of positive comments. And I know that some people that try going through it uh, has had questions, and and that's okay. Um, I just think that this wasn't really fair that I released a document with instructions, but didn't really explain things with a lot of detail. I just pretty much just put what I did, just describe. For example, right here on step one, dynamic background extraction. I'm, and that's it, So this document is expecting people to already have a basic understanding of PixInsight. But anyways, I just thought I had to make a video about this. I didn't think it was very fair for me to release a document like this and expect people to just follow it to the letter and you know make this same image. So anyways, so the point of this video is to go through this document, and I am going to go step by step, and hopefully you can follow along with me, and hopefully this will help um, just clear up any issues or any questions you may have. And I think overall, I think this video was overdue. The first thing that I want to talk about, and I want to make sure that we clarify this before we start, and that is the tools that I used, the plugins that I used to uh, to include in my workflow, and they have become part of my workflow. Some of them are paid plugins, some of them are free. You are welcome to use those or the ones that the tools that PixInsight provides. I just found that some of them were very helpful and just very easy to use and easy to do certain things. And that means sometimes you have to pay for them. So I was okay with that. I know some people are not okay with paying for plugins, and and I know that some of them are expensive. So I want to cover the plugins and the tools that do not come with PixInsight first before we jump into PixInsight and start this whole workflow. So the first tools that I want, or plugins that I want to talk about is Blur, Noise, and Star Xterminator. And I know they are very popular. They are also pretty expensive, um, but I believe they're worth it. They are incredible plugins. They work extremely well. They take advantage of artificial intelligence, and they just do such a great job. For example, Blur Exterminator with deconvolution, and it just does such a great job with it as long as it's used properly. And same thing with Noise Exterminator. And Star Exterminator just does a phenomenal job removing those stars and creating that file separately, so you can work on the stars and then put them back in later using pixel math. So those three I use. Just real quick, the way you download them, right? You have to go to you can type in your browser, Blur Exterminator or any of these three, and it'll take you to the page. You can download them for free as a trial, and it's gonna come with a there is a some type of link that you will plug in here in PixInsight, and also um, with a key or some type of activation key. So if you go here to resources and you go to updates and manage repositories, you can see I have them here: stars, noise, and blur exterminator. But the way you will add them here is you will take that link that they're going to give you and you would just add it here, and click OK, and then you will have to close um, PixInsight, and then when you open it back up, it's going to you have to actually go to resources, updates, oops, updates, check for updates, and it will pop in there and prompt you to do something. So that's basically how you install each one of them separately. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much. I am using the three of them. I know a lot of people don't use them, but I also know a lot of people that do use them. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube in regards to these plugins, so you can check those out and really learn how to use them. Anyways, so those are the paid plugins. I also do run a few different tools that are free, and you can see them here on the side. And then if we go back and we go to my website, they are here all the way at the bottom where the documents are. And that is Bill's color masks, which I use especially for the Rosette Nebula, where I know a lot of people have challenges with separating that blue from the red and the orange, and red and the yellow, sorry. So the masks are essential to separating these colors. At least for me, they've been very, very useful. So you can download those either from you can go to my website and download them, or I'm sure Bill has them too. There's a few YouTubers that have them, and it's great because it makes them accessible to people. The other tool is the Bill's normalization tool, or it's basically like a Hubble palette um, that you can just click and drag into your image. It's like it's made up of pixel math and a bunch of equations in there, and you can just basically just click and drag into your image, and it will give your image a look. It can be an SHO or HOO look, and you can just play around with them. I have all three versions, version 3, 4, and 5. I know the latest one is 5. Uh, but I just played around with them. I used all three of them and just play around with them and see which one I like the most. Um, but definitely for this video, I believe I used version 5. So that is the other tool. And then the last thing that I downloaded, it's here. This is Herbert Walter. And this is basically to find your PSF or point spread function on your image. And this is going to be very, very important because um, when we do blur exterminator, we are going to need that PSF number to tell blur exterminator uh, give it a reference. Um, so there is another way to do this that already comes built into PixInsight, but it only works on grayscale images. So I've tried it before. I've done it after I split the channels and done it um, on each of the channels. But I wanted to be able to do it in a color image, and in PixInsight you can't do it, so you have to download that plugin. So it works the same way, right? You have a link here that you will highlight. Yep, and then it tells you here how to do it. You just go to resources, um, updates, manage repositories, drop it in there, right? Here are the instructions, drop it in there. Well, first click add, drop it in there, click OK, check for updates. It's all there. I'm going to leave a link to this down in the description as well. Uh, I'm hoping I am not forgetting anything. Yes, there's actually one more thing, and that is here in PixInsight. So one of the things that I also do here, and let me open the document actually so you can see, is spectral photometric color calibration. Now, that comes already in PixInsight. It's already there. If you go to process, you go to color calibration, and it's there. But it won't work because if you don't have a library. So you need to download the libraries. So if you go to PixInsight.com, that's how I found it. And then you go to downloads and then software distribution. You're going to log in, and then it'll open this page here. And then you're going to go all the way to the bottom, well, actually here, and there is Gaia DR3 SP small set. And this is the important thing, that you get the small set. The complete set is for more professional astrophotographers, or for more for science and things like that. The small set is all you need. So you're going to click there, and then it's going to give you, click there again. There you go. It's going to give you these 4 files to download. So you download each one of them, and then in my case, because I'm in a MacBook, go straight to downloads. So there they are, and you're going to go to process, all processes, and go all the way to the G's, Gaia. Okay. Then you're going to go to the wrench all the way at the bottom. Let me clear mine. And then you're going to hit select. And then wherever you downloaded those 4 files to, that's where you need to go and grab them. So in my case, they are in downloads. So I am going to grab them, open, and then make sure that this up here says Gaia DR3 SB. And that's it. You click OK. You close this. And now you can do the calibration, the spectral photometric color calibration. Wow, that's a mouthful. Anyways, we will get there. But now, if you've been following along and you have all these tools, um, you are pretty much ready to come along with me and process this image. So here we are in PixInsight. I have the image already loaded. I've had it loaded. Um, and there's not much you can see here. The first thing that I like to do is to rename my image, and that's because it's a long file name. And when it comes to doing things later, like linear fit and things like that, it's best if you have a short name. So I typically just go with uh, RGB, RGB underscore master. Okay. So here's the image. and we're going to follow the document. So I'm going to go to my document here, and we're going to follow this. Now, just to recap, and all this information is here, right? Here's the a little bit of information about the Rosette Nebula, NGC 2237, and the image was taken under a Bottle 5. This is a Willen Optics RedCap 51. I use an ASI 533 MC Pro. And then the other thing that's really important also, it's the filter that I use, and that's the Optolon L Extreme that is sitting right in here in this filter drawer that I did not label here, but that's a filter drawer, and the filter is sitting in there. The other important thing, and the whole reason why I did this whole project, is because I am using a Skywatcher Star Adventurer 2i. This thing is an entry level, it's considered an entry level mount, and but there's ways to push it and still get great images. So, anyways, more of that information, it's in the first video that I created, and where I just go over this entire rig, step by step, how I put it together, and just give you a lot of tips. So, going to the image, right? So I describe here all the different plugins and tools, and this is basically 14 hours of data of 600-second images, and I have my calibration shots here, so my darks, my biases, and my flats, and that is the raw image, as you will see in a second. And yeah, let's start. So step one, we're going to do a dynamic background extraction. 2, we're going to do a dynamic crop. And then 3, we're going to do a color calibration, spectral photometric color calibration. I need to say this more often. Maybe it'll come out easier. And then we'll do a blur exterminator, 90% on the non-stellar, right before we remove the stars. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's go there. So here's the image. The first thing before I open this up is I'm going to go here to the screen transfer function, and I'm going to unlink the channels and click this radiation button, and there's the image. Okay, so I'm going to close that up. So there it is. Wow, it's crazy how it goes from that to I have to finish image here. It just, that's not the finished image. Here's the finished image. It's just crazy how he goes from this to this. I mean, it still amazes me, the power behind processing. So, anyways, I got sidetracked. So okay, so we're gonna do a dynamic background extraction. I have all these tools here. If you actually, I should do it the other way, and that is if you go to process and you go to background modelization, you go here to dynamic background extraction. Okay, then you're going to click on the image. It is. I like to make this bigger so it's easier. And basically, I am going to start clicking wherever there are no stars or nebula. And I just like to click kind of all over the place as long as there are no stars or nebula. So I believe I don't, last time I did this, I didn't pick that many points. I think that's enough. And then you're going to go here to target image correction and set that to subtraction. And we're going to just click there. Okay, so there's the image. So I'm going to close this, and close the image, because here is my new image. And if I press Command A, there it is. Okay, so step number 2 is we're going to do a crop and dynamic crop. So you can go to Process, Geometry, Dynamic Crop. You gotta click here to select the whole image. I do not remember how I cropped this for the previous image, but it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna a small crop. I'm not gonna go too crazy. Just to crop the edges off. Okay, and click OK on that. Okay, like it. Okay, there it is. Step 3 is the color calibration. It's great. So if I just go straight to Process, Color Calibration, Spectral, Photometric Color Calibration, and let's say I just go in and just drag that in there. There is no astrometric solution. That's a problem. So the first thing that you need to do, remember that plugin that we downloaded? You're going to go to Scripts, Image Analysis, Image Solver. And here you're going to hit search, and then we're going to type NGC 2237, and that's the one I pick. Click OK, and I just click OK. This is a RedCap 51, so 250 millimeters. That's close enough. I just click OK, and then let this thing run. Okay, so it is done. It takes a while, but that's done. Now I can come into Process Color Calibration. And then here's what I set this as. So I leave this white reference as it is. I changed this to Optalong red, Optalong green, and Optalong blue. And then the QE curve, this I do send, I set that up to the imaging sensor that's in my camera. So in my case, I have the 533. So here it is. And then I have to check region of interest. So I'll set this to the side, and I'm gonna go here, this blank sheet of paper right here, and I am going to select an area that we're basically gonna call background. So I am going to select this area right there, it's small, and then from preview, I'm gonna go here and preview one, and okay. And I'm going to click this and drag it in there. Now it's going to color calibrate this image. There it is. You also get this nice graph. I have no idea what I'm looking at, but it's cool. This image looks crazy right now. Don't worry, you just have to reset the screen transfer function. So in my case, it's Control S, and then back to Command A brings it to the image. Just a reset. I'll delete that preview. Okay. The next step is to go back to this screen transfer function. Now I'm going to link those channels. And there you go. Now that's color calibrated. So if I go back, just reset it. And just the way when you first open the image and you do this, the image looks nasty and green. And that's not how it's supposed to look. So when you unlink the channels, then you get something that looks better. But But what you want is to have these channels linked. So go back to that, and now we have the actual image. So there's a lot of red in there, and this is where the masks are going to help tremendously. So what is the next step? The next step is Blur Xterminator. So here's what we get into our first plugin, and I have it right here. So I'm going to open it, and then actually reset it. And then here where it says automatic PSF, it will run okay, and it will do its job, but we can get a little bit more precise, and that is by doing a manual PSF. How do we find that PSF? Well, that's that other tool that we installed. And if you go to scripts and you go to utilities, no, sorry, render, and you see PSF image. So again, script, render, PSF image. Okay, so here it is. And then all you're going to do, right, it's picking up this master DBE, and you're just going to click evaluate. And it's going to take a little bit of time to evaluate this image and give you a PSF or point spread function. Okay, here it is. And we have, there's two numbers that we want to look at, this 2.75 and this 3.02. So we're going to just split this down the middle. So that will be a, I don't know, 285. Yeah, 2.85. Let's call that 285. So we're gonna exit this, and then we're gonna type here 2.85. Sharpen, non-stellar. It's a here 90%, which is pretty aggressive, but hey, we're gonna go with it. That is the default, and we're just gonna click this and drop it in there, and it's gonna work its magic, and this thing is going to be transformed. Okay, there it is. Wow, look at the difference. Huge difference. Those stars are a lot smaller now. Loving it. Okay, so we're done with that. Next step. Next step is to remove the stars. So we're gonna do star Xterminator, and then we're just gonna jump and do noise Xterminator. Okay, so we have stars Xterminator here. It's simply just drag it in there, and it's gonna take out the stars. You can see why I like these plugins, because they work very well with very little input, very little work. Uh, all that requires is, pay a little bit of money. There you go. So you pay for the conveniency. I'm going to rename this stars, stars L extreme. Okay. And now we're going to do a little bit of denoise. So we're going to do the noise Xterminator, and I believe we said 70%. So let's go to 70. And we're simply just going to click this and drag it in there. And it's going to denoise this whole, wow, look at that. So let me just go back. Back and forth. Look at that. Guys, this just works. So the denoise denoise is complete, and we are ready to split these channels. So it's getting now to this point where we're going to split them, and then we're going to stretch them, and we're going to rename them. And then that's going to set the foundation for splitting making our O3 and our H alpha images. So let me hide this. I'm going to split this, guys. So I'm going to do Control S to bring it to reset it. And then we're going to click right here, split RGB channels. There you go. Let's put this away. Don't need it right now. And this is the blue. So we're going to rename it B. That's the green. We're going to rename it G. And then that's the red. And we're going to rename that R. Okay. Then we're going to minimize them. I just like to keep things very organized. So that's why I do what I do here. So now we're going to take each channel and we're going to stretch it. I like to start with the red because that's the one that gets me the most satisfaction because it's the one with the most detail. And if you click Control A, you can tell this thing is wicked. It's just so much HA in this image, and look how little the noise. If you press the space bar and just drag your cursor around, you can actually, you can just drag this around. See how little noise there is in this channel? Yeah, it's awesome. So let me bring this back to optimal fit, and then Control S resets it, and then we're gonna do a histogram transformation. Either here, I can pick it from here, or I'm just gonna process, intensity transformation, and histogram transformation. Okay, now I'm gonna select my red here. Okay, I'm gonna make a preview. I click this reset button like out of habit, just like all the time to make sure it's reset. Now, here's how I stretch this. Right, so I'm gonna stretch, accept, reset, stretch, accept, or apply, reset. Now, you see this where this signal starts right here? That's as far as I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go any further than that. I do not want to clip anything. So I'm gonna bring this dark here and watch this number here. I want that to be 0. There you go. See, that's 0. Apply. And I'm gonna come really close to that edge. And that's it. That's as far as I'm gonna go with this channel. Okay, so this channel is stretched. And we'll do the same with the others. Let's take the green. Okay. Do the same thing. Stretch. Stretch some more. This one has a lot of space here on the darks. Make sure we don't clip anything. There you go. And then we come right to that edge. Yeah, that's fine. It went over just a little bit. Okay, not a huge deal. Maybe I can. Okay, yeah, that's right at the edge anyways. And then we're gonna do the blue. The blue by far is the noisiest channel. And that's why I kept taking more and more and more and more images, because I really wanted to reduce the noise on that blue and the green channels The red was clean, I think, at after 6 hours of total integration, the red was really, really clean. Um, and I just kept taking images because I really wanted to clean up the green and the blue. And maybe there is a different way to go about it, but I found that was very helpful to capturing a lot of details and reducing your noise levels. Okay, so that's that. They're done. They're all stretched. Next step, right? So they should all look like this at this point. And now we're going to use the pixel math to create O3 and HA images. And we're going to use these formulas. Well, basically just to create the O3, because the HA, it's basically a copy of the red channel. So let me see if I can say, oh, I can select that here. Yeah, beautiful. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to process, pixel math. I'm going to reset this. And then right here, I'm just going to paste that, that formula. Now I'm going to go here to destination, create a new image, and the image ID is going to be O3. That's it. Nothing here in the color space, anything. Just keep it as it is. And then click the square. And there it is. This is my O3 image. So I'm going to put that on the side. Reset this pixel math. I'm actually going to minimize it and put it away. So we're going to use it again. And then I'm going to take this red. I'm going to make a copy of it. And I am going to rename this red HA. And now I have my HA and my O3 image. Put them this way because that's how they are in the document. Now you do notice that they do look different. And the black is definitely, it's a lot more gray on the O3 than it is on the HA. So, and you see that here too. So the other thing that we do is we apply a linear fit to the O3. So they will look equal. Also, when we combine them, one will not be overpowering the other. So we want them to be equal. So we're going to go to process, color calibration, and then linear fit. Now this is why like renaming things is easier, because all I need to do is just type here HA and just drop it in the O3. And there it is. That's it. They are the same. Okay. So what is the next step? We're going to combine the O3 and the HA data to make the color image. Okay, so let me minimize these two. We're going to use pixel math again. So we're going to open pixel math. This time, we're going to unclick this use a signal RGBK expression. We're going to unclick that. And now we have access to the 3 channels. So the document says to put HA on the R and K, put this formula on the green channel, and then O3 on the blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. Okay, I'm going to copy this formula. In the green. And then let me just remove that because it also copied the G. So, okay. So there's a formula. In the red channel, we said we were going to put HA. and on the blue we're going to put O3. Make sure that these match these descriptions, right? So if they don't match, it's gonna give you an error. So make sure you type O3 the same way it's described on the O3 image and HA the way it is there too. Okay, that's very important. Also, equally important is that you create a new image and that this time in the color space, you're gonna set that to RGB color. And then you're gonna hit the square and boom, there it is. Gonna reset pixel math, put it away, and we got our first color image. It looks pretty cool. Doesn't look Hubble palette at all, but you have really good color definition, especially with the red. You have that copper reddish color, and then you have this greenish, bluish color in the middle, and that's gonna help big time. And I mean that compared to the original image, where it was just all red. I mean, this is gonna help big time with your Hubble palette. But we're not done yet. There's one more step before we finalize that one image, and that is to add the HA as a luminance for it to look a little more vivid. So we're gonna back out of here, and then we're gonna go to this tool, process, color space, yeah, color space, and then LRGB combination. What are we gonna do here? We're gonna uncheck the red, the green, and the blue. And then on the L, you can either click this square right here and then pick H alpha, or you can just type it in. But I'm just going to click H alpha. Okay, we're going to do prominence, noise reduction, and then we're going to take that and we're going to dump that on that image. And you see how it's going to transform that image. Yeah, nice. So there it is. If I just go back and forth, so back, there you go. You see the difference? Yeah. So now you can see a little more definition on this edges over here than before, and that's where your yellow is going to come from. So you have all this red, yellow, and then blue, and that's how the Hubble palette is supposed to look. So at this point, your image is set to start using all these masks, and we're going to use curves, transformation, all these things to start enhancing the colors and making this look like a Hubble palette image. I can see that this video is already a very long video. So what I think I'm going to do, actually what I am going to do, is I am going to end here and create a part 2 to this video where I am going to pick up where I left off, which will be right here. And then I'm going to start applying all the different masks and all the basically all the whole process of color enhancing this image to achieve a Hubble palette look. So it will basically go from that image to something like this, and that is there's quite a few steps to get there. But you can see here that we are not too far. You can see this is an enhanced image, but the color is there. You have the teal looking color, you have the red, you have a bit of a yellowish or just lighter color around there that's going to become that yellow. So the foundation is there. All we need to do is start messing around with these colors. So there's actually one more step here that I should do before I jump on the I end this video and I make the other video, and that is, let me see here. Yeah, and that is the Bill's math, not mask, but it's the pixel math to achieve this color, and that is a yeah SHO normalization version 5. So we're gonna look for that. We're gonna drag that in and let's see how that looks. So if you go here to the side, version 5, we have SHO version 5, and we're just gonna click it, take it, drag it, and dump it in there. That looks really nice. It definitely brought down the colors a bit. Bringing it back and then bringing it forward. Yeah, but what he did, you can see this now, you can see a lot more yellow and then this blue here. So this is going to help big time when it comes to um, enhancing these colors for the Hubble palette. So this is a great foundation to start from. And this is really where I want to get to before we start enhancing colors. It is a lot harder to enhance your colors. Let me see, when you have an image like this, right? It's a lot harder to bring out the blue out of an image like this. Here, you're almost there. I mean, you already have that teal color. Uh, I guess more like aqua, greenish, whatever color you want to call it, but it's there, and it's just a small step just to make this blue. This is a long way. This picture right here, there's a long way to go to make this blue. And what a lot of times you'll end up doing is actually end up clipping things because it's such a long way to make this blue that yeah, you'll end up messing up a lot of the details and clipping details. And um, I'm not saying that it will look horrible. I know people that have done it. I've seen images that where people have done it and they've been able to pull it off. But isn't this so much easier to achieve? And look, forget about these paid plugins, right? The Blur, Noise, and Star Xterminator. Forget about that. You can achieve this even with the free plugins or the free tools. Um, if you find a free way to do the convolution, which there is, I just didn't want to mess with it because it's just complicated for me. There is a way to remove the stars for free. There is a way to do noise reduction for free. So you can do those. It's just that it's going to be more involving and add more time to your process. You saw how much easier it was to just click and drag all these things, and then you come to one of these bills, pixel math. I don't even know what to call them. They're tools, I guess. And you just drag that in and it just transforms your image. I mean, yeah, I just don't see how can you go wrong with this. So this is already looking sort of like a Hubble palette image. So I'm gonna leave it here. Um, I know this video it's already long. I hope that you follow along and that you've gotten to this point. I hope that your image is looking like this or something similar to this, because if it does, man, the next video is going to take this image to a whole nother level, and actually, it's going to be easier to get to that level if you have followed all these steps. Stay tuned for part 2, and I hope that you like this video. I hope that it was useful to you. And if it was, just make sure that you subscribe. Again, I'm dropping the second video very, very soon. And there's going to be another video, which is going to be how I capture this image. It's in the making. It's just that I'm not ready to put it out yet. But that's another video. So if you don't want to miss any of those videos, just please subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. give it a thumbs up, share it with other people. That's what this channel is about. It's about me learning new techniques, learning all these new different things in astrophotography, and just not keeping the knowledge to myself. There's no fun in that. The fun is when you get to share it with others, and others can either apply what you have taught them, or use that into their process, or use that into their way of doing things, and being able to make a difference in people's images. So yeah, this is it for this video, and I will see you on the next video.